What I like about the process that you teach is that if you stick to it, there is no way that you cannot be client-centered, because you just listen to the client and you elicit the answers from the client, and you're not even tempted to imply names or the nature of the aspect of the subconscious. And I think that makes it such an amazing value in the curriculum for everybody to understand. We're not imparting anything on our clients. We're just extracting the information from them and bringing it to their conscious mind so they understand.
As we would say in America, you are spot on, because that's the whole key to client-centered hypnosis. It's based on the concept that the answers are within the mind of the client in the subconscious, and our job as facilitators is to dig that information out, whether we're using parts therapy or regression therapy or other techniques. And let me just mention something very important about regression, because it's had a bad reputation for quite a number of years in many parts of the world because of people who attempt hypnotic regression therapy without proper training in regression. It's very important to know the difference between guiding and leading, and it's very important to know a number of different techniques, because I have met more than one person through the years who does age regression, and it's the only regression technique they know. Well, it's not the only regression technique that I use. Mm-hmm. I'll use age regression, but I use affect bridge technique, which is a regression technique, more often than I'll use age regression. But the whole purpose isn't focusing on the technique, it's focusing on finding a way, as you said earlier, to dig the information from the client's subconscious. Yes. And it's very important to set aside any preconceived opinions. So before I ever do a regression with a client, I let the client know in my pre-talk that both of us have to set aside our own preconceived opinions about the cause of the problem and allow the subconscious to come up with what that cause is. And I feel so privileged that Bruce Eimer was willing to co-author the book on regression therapy with me, because I believe the end result is better than either one of us could have come up with on our own. So it's a cooperative effort that builds a good bridge between hypnotherapy and psychology.
Yeah. And I just want to share one last thing with you. When I started now teaching your parts therapy technique to our people, a huge number of our members who have actually qualified took the course. And they were a little bit reluctant to believe in the very often hugely profound results that one gets with parts therapy. As a matter of fact, when I get the case studies back and we examine that, often there is a remark, I can't believe that such a gentle, invasive technique can have such profound results. We thought, old school, that it would only be regression, and that can sometimes be a little bit emotional and, embarrassing for sharing maybe things that happened in the past, and maybe upsetting for the client, because often these traumas aren't consciously known to them. But discovering the cause using parts therapy is such a beautiful, gentle way that neither the facilitator nor the client actually comes into the state where they say, I rather wouldn't have liked to know what I know now. Yeah, that's what I absolutely adore about parts therapy. And having facilitated and read about 600 case studies now, apart from my own, because that's another thing I would like to share with you, that most people that come from the old schooling through us now prefer parts therapy to regression, and prefer that to do that first before, in the rare cases where parts therapy doesn't work, then they would go to regression. So thank you. I don't know how the universe got me onto your course, but I'm very, very grateful. It changed me as a hypnotherapist, and I thank you for that.
It's my honor and my privilege. And I thank the late Charles Tebbets for asking me to continue his work before he passed on.
Yeah. Thank you.